Hi and welcome to the channel and this week, because our main protagonist, King Frej, is on his deathbed. He only has 1 month to live, and we know this because he has the learning, education, lifestyle, where we get a warning a year in advance before death of natural causes. And last summer, King Frej felt in his body that it was time to leave this world. He's not too sad about that, really. He's 85 years old. He had a mostly good life. He rose as a jarl in Västergötland. He conquered some neighboring counties, subjugated Småland, became a reluctant king of Sweden. And then he has seen his family and his house grow big and strong, and the power of his kingdom extending all the way down to the Netherlands here. The last couple of episodes has been hard on the king. There has been much sadness, sorrow and grief. He lost a daughter. He lost his favorite concubine, Princess Giselle of West Francia. And in the last episode he lost his wife, who was his soulmate, friend, and the love of his life. So he is eagerly awaiting death. He's ready to leave this world and pass the inheritance and the kingdom on to his firstborn son, Jarl Starkade Freyson of Gulapingslög. And that's where we are in this storytelling and role-playing let's play of Crusader Kings 3. So, I have been ever since the king was around 70 years old. I have been waiting. Me and the king, we've been waiting for him to die, because it's unusual in Crusader Kings 3 to get to 85. Most characters don't, but King Frej, he has, and it's been a road worth traveling for me and the king. But here we are. His time is over, or almost over anyway. And we're in the Scandinavian elective system, so we really could choose another heir than our firstborn here, Starkade. And I could even make an argument for choosing Balder here, or maybe Karl, my second-born, with Giselle, because we are friends with them according to the game. But the thing about them is that they are both sons of the king and Giselle, his concubine. And although the king loved Giselle as well, and he likes Balder and Karl, his sons, by Giselle better than he likes for Starkade. I mean, he loves him, but they are not friends. They are father and son, whereas he is father and son and friends with these two. So, and since he is by now a loved ruler in all of the realm, and we're in the Scandinavian elective, I definitely could have chosen any of these two to inherit after us. And they also have, because they're gonna have claims on France from their mother, and my firstborn son won't. But this being a storytelling roleplay, the king would never do that, because even though he loved Giselle and he likes his sons with her better, the true love of his life was his queen and wife, and she would never forgive him if he went with any child that wasn't hers on the throne. And we have been developing Starkadr here as our heir ever since he was born. There has been some written storytelling parts appearing on the screen where we have already given him some flavor in previous episodes. And now he, unless something really unexpected happens in the month or two that the king has to live, he will inherit the kingdom of Sweden. He's already a jarl of his own here, but he's gonna be the new king. It would surprise me if it doesn't go this way. So let's just run the game and see if something will happen to Frej, or if he's gonna have a calm and peaceful time. Those last few days, weeks, maybe months he has left. It's just our sway scheme. We are trying to impress one of our new Dutch vassals down in our newly conquered lands in Frisia. So I could write to Duke Haraldr and praise his soaring ambition, or keep it short and professional. Let's see if there's anything in his personality that could give us a hint. No, he's lazy, so I doubt that he's gonna believe us if we write something praising his soaring ambition. I will keep it short and professional. And here we have some other sad news. Jarl Rikulf Hildursson of Östergötland has died. He was, well, I wouldn't say that the king is sad, really. Jarl Rikulf was a vassal of the first king of Sweden. The first king of Sweden was Björn of House Munse, and we usurped his title and became king. And when we became king, we made Rikulf of House Ulfinghe the Jarl of Östergötland, and we made the former king Björn, who's now dead, and his house seems to be gone. At least they don't hold the lands they used to hold. Anyway, we made Rikulf here the Jarl of Östergötland, and the argument for that when it happened was that he was such a boring man that he would never cause us any trouble. But since then he's been kind of proving himself. Well, he never became less dull. He was never entertaining. He never made the king laugh. But he's been proving himself as a good commander, good at managing his lands, and a good vassal. The king doesn't love him, but he kind of developed a respect for him. And now it looks like his son, Jarl Hildur Rikulfsson, has inherited. So we shall see what he might become. He's compassionate, lazy, and arrogant. So he will have a part to play in the future of our story, and most of that part will be with our next ruler. But for now we have an empty council position because Jarl Rikulf was spy master, even though he was definitely incompetent. So there are a few options, but I think that the king, he is awaiting death. Let's hold on appointing a new spy master, and let our heir appoint one of his choice when he comes of age. Here it is. King Frej of Sweden's soul has finally been cast to hell at 85 years of age. He died of old age, a shameless adulterer. He will be remembered for his treachery and his covetous disposition. King Starkadr ascends to the throne, never caring for the word of the heroic sagas. Many fear Starkadr's rule will come to an early end as Odin smites him. Alright, so that's what the game thinks. Well, I suppose it's probably because they are both cynical men, and this is about religion. So, but the king will be remembered in other ways by the people around him, by me, and hopefully by you, by the people watching this. So if you have been watching, if you're one of the few brave souls that have been following my Let's Play here and watched a couple of episodes, share in the comments what you think that King Frej will be remembered as and for. I would read it with interest. Welcome to this wake. King Frej of Sweden is dead. 85 years old he became. Let's listen to some music and take a look at his legacy. Roll it, please. Not my Jarl, not my Jarl. Not everyone was happy when the 44-year-old Frej of House Korp was elected Jarl at the Tingmeet of Lödöse in the year of 867. Others, however, praised his wisdom and hoped that Frej would be the man to guide the Jarldom of Västergötland through these troubling times. The unmarried and childless middle-aged man had spent most of his life prior on the road, traveling the world. As Jarl, he was expected to marry. He chose Sif of House Lausakaupanger, a choice he never had reason to regret. Their companionship grew to become true love and friendship. Having boosted the ranks with new champions willing to wield axe and sword for the new Jarl, Frej declared war for the chieftain of Nordmark. One of the new champions, Bersi, distinguished himself in the deciding battle. As a reward, Bersi was given Nordmark to rule. As a chief, House Trolli was founded. It was starting to become clear that the struggle for dominance in Scandinavia in the late 9th century was to be a clash between House Sigurdur, rulers of Sjælland, and House Munse of Uppland to the northeast. Wedged in between, Frej sought to secure power enough that the Jarldom of Västergötland would not be swallowed by the two main regional Jarldoms. This led to the subjugation of House Njudung of Småland. At the victory feast in Småland, news reached Jarl Frej that Björn of Munse had declared himself King of Sweden. Frej strengthened the already friendly relations he had developed with Jarl Sigurdur and demanded that Björn of Munse should renounce his claims. When Björn refused, the only option left was to claim the kingdom for himself and go to war for it. A thing of power is a word, only yours will never be heard. That was the ending of the poem Frej wrote to Jarl Björn when he humiliated him in front of all his court. And with the combined strength of Sigurdur and Frej's father-in-law Alfgeir's forces, the war for the kingdom was swift and short. She's kinda cute. That was Frej's comment when his raiders lined up the prisoners taken from the royal castle in Brittany, and he laid eyes on the Queen Giselle. Little did he know then that the woman in question was the daughter of Charles the Bald of House Carling. Neither did he know that Giselle should prove herself cunning, charming and wise, and rise to become one of the most important persons in the kingdom of Scandinavia, and in the king's life. Frej had many children, with his wife, his concubines and his lovers. His firstborn daughter Asta married Sigurdur and became the first queen of Denmark. Frej always called his second-born Auder the apple of my eye. Her sons grew to be rulers in Holland. Starkadr, the firstborn son, was proclaimed heir to the kingdom of Sweden by the electors. A large part in convincing the jarls and chiefs that House Korp should rule after King Frej's death was played by Chancellor Hjartvarder. As a reward for Hjartvarder's service, King Frej let Hjartvarder's daughter Jorun marry into the royal house. She became the wife of Prince Karl, Frej's son by Giselle. Like all Giselle's son, he has strong claims on the kingdoms of France. Frej departs to Valhalla as a father of a dynasty with claims and influence from Bohemia in the far south to France, the British Isles and Holland in the west. His joy and pride is shadowed by the death of his daughter, Bothilde, who was sacrificed in a pure power play to secure an alliance with Jarl Ivar the Boneless. Frej of House Korp will go down in history as the founder of a great dynasty and the father of the Kingdom of Sweden. His enemies will remember him as a man who cared little for the gods. In Brittany, to this day, parents tell their children scary stories about the vile Northmen coming to take their mother away and turn her into a witch of the North. Frey's family and friends remember him as a warm man who, although he always were willing to bend the law and interpret the rules as it suited him, dealt justly with both commoners and nobles. Mostly, he will be remembered as a lover of life, of women in particular. No one but Frej and his mistress Unur knows that the young lord of House Bebbanburg, the ruler of Stettin, is a son of Frej. Up in the mountainous regions of Jämtland, Shifte Sörikissa, the Impaler, is telling stories portraying Frej as a lover fit for a Jämtland queen. House Korp is in a position to go down in history as one of the greatest royal families in medieval Europe. With a strong foothold in Scandinavia, their reach can extend to France, the Holy Roman Empire and Bohemia, if the generations who follow Frej play their cards right. This will unfold in coming episodes. Link to the playlist in the description if you want to delve deeper into the events mentioned in this chronicle. Thank you for watching. Join me tomorrow for King Hjartvarder's first days on the throne. Goodbye.